been thinking about, talking about the microphone is more than a microphone, and it's not just that. And I think it's true as we look at you in our forum and people in general, you can't label them, oh, you're an artist or you're a teacher or whatever, because there is so much more. And I think that's true of as we hear about your education as well. And I was just curious if there are other arenas that you haven't mentioned that you see creativity being a big part, or that you've brought creativity that maybe you didn't expect. Especially Hedra, for you, I don't know if we have to read your book, but maybe if you could mention some of the other, arenas or different places that you've seen creativity be brought that maybe you didn't expect or were surprising, or anything along those lines. And the same for the rest of them.
Oh, interesting. I'll lead it off. I worked a lot with economically disadvantaged women, mostly children and women, and I found that I helped them be open to what they could do. So maybe that's part of the arena. When I worked in companies, it was so important. Sometimes we're taught the process here, and I think the process is great, and I know you went through the whole process to come out with your stuff. But I don't feel you always have to go through the whole process and realize that. There are a lot of tools, and we've mentioned many of them here, and there's different times to use them. So what? Say more. Facilitators speak that you've learned. These are all tools that you've learned. Learn how to use them, learn how to use them in the right place. Different arenas. It's hard to say. I've worked a lot of companies. I worked with individuals and people. People just need encouragement. All the things we've been saying here. People just need to learn how to defer judgment on themselves. People are very judgmental on themselves and everything else. Just say more to me. Tell me what was good about it. The whole PPC, you call it PPCO now or something? Okay. I'm partly responsible there because I kept saying people didn't want to know how do we go back to brainstorm about the whole thing. But this whole thing is saying to people, well, tell me what, when you were telling the story about your husband, I was dying for her to say, well, tell me what's good about this this place you saw. And when you say that to people, they're just like, well, what do you mean? I said, well, you told me why you don't want to do it. Tell me what you do want to do. And it just opens up a whole new world for people. So I don't know if that answers your question, but that's about the best I can do.
I actually went through a series of cancer situations in my family over time. And because of that, I used to volunteer everywhere. I would get called from the college, come volunteer. I was on Bengal 5K stuff, whatever.
Alumni, everything.
Everything. And I finally looked at my husband once and I said, hey, what I'd like to do, I said I would like to find that one niche where I'd like to go and volunteer, because volunteering to me is very important. And what I opted to do was I went to Roswell Park. And the whole part about being creative and the whole part about just being open and being there, it was amazing because I started working with a wonderful woman by the name of Susan Siegel, who runs the volunteer department, and we got together and she started setting me up with what was called the craft cart. And it went from floor to floor, to unit, and I said, sure, I could do that, and I can help you with that. And we really worked on it, we really developed it, and it's a program that runs there right now. But the amazing part was just talking to the people and to use the creative ability that I was taught, basically, just those simple things of being able to talk and be open with people about situations and stuff. It's another outlet that I had, and I volunteered there for a very long time. I still do some stuff there, but now that I'm back teaching, I don't get there every time that I would like to. But there are outlets all over, and you don't realize how often you get to use your creativity, and that's just one area that is just amazing, that when you go there, and that they themselves at Roswell Park use creativity as well.
Great. Any other questions? We don't have too much time, just a little. From the audience?
Question you've always been burning to know about creativity.
But talk a little bit about one of the things, because you've come into the class a lot, into this particular class.
I love doing it.
And as they look for their philosophy, and as they look towards what they see themselves doing in the future. You had talked, in the past, you've talked a bit about scans or other ways to look at your future. What kind of advice would you give them, or how would you tell them to go about looking at their synthesis of their degree?
Well, it's kind of what we talked about, being able to go through and see what's important. When I've done individual coaching, and it was interesting because I was there when Coach U first started. In fact, I went to Coach University, something up in Toronto when it first began, and I said, I don't need this. Everything I need I've learned in this program here. Questions to ask people, how to ask them. The first part of the creative problem-solving process is what you need anytime you're starting something. All those questions about what have you done in the past, what have you done before, what have you tried, what haven't you tried. See, I do remember it all. When I coach somebody, I ask them to write a list for me. If I only have 5 minutes, I always want to do the positives for me. If I have longer, I tell them to do the negatives as well. But I don't want to get into that unless I have time to deal with them. And I ask them to write a long list of all the things they've done in their life that they really enjoy doing, and all the things that are fun, and all the things that they like doing that they might not have done. So you start to get a very positive list about who are you, what do you want to do? And one of the things then, because I'll tell you because you've gone through the program, what are the things you don't like? So look at them and say, I don't want to do that anymore. Or in what ways might I make that more enjoyable if it's something that's going to lead you to the money you want, or if it's something that's going to lead you to a place you want to be. But look at your philosophy. When you're looking at your philosophy, go back to what I said about the scan. Self-awareness. Who are you now? You're so different than when you came into this program. Who are you? What do you want to do? I want to make a difference in people's lives. So it didn't matter. I knew adults, too. I'm sorry. I want to make a difference in adults' lives. God bless you for teaching children. I have little ones. I love it. Can't wait till the grandchildren come. Can't wait till they leave. And I adore them all. What do you really like doing? Because then it won't be work. You've listened to these people tell you none of us are working. We're just having a ball doing the stuff we like to do.
And they pay us for it.
Oh, I told you. My first discovery was when I was in Niagara on the Lake, and I said, oh my God, I'm getting paid to do this, to meet with these intelligent people from around the world, to tell them what I've learned, to help them learn, and I'm in these beautiful surroundings. Where do you want to be? What do you want to do? And make it happen. Put that into your philosophy. Figure it out. Because each one of you has something individual to bring that I don't know about, but you know what's in there. And defer judgment. Don't stick it here. Let it come out. Even if it's the craziest thing you've ever thought about, put it down on that paper. This is something I'd like to do. Or this is something that was really fun. Nobody's looking at that sheet of paper but you. Write it all down and take a good look and say, who am I? And what do I want to do with myself? And where do I want to be? And it will happen. Believe me, it will happen. It's unbelievable.
I think it was Marcy last time that was saying she did a storyboard about where she saw herself going, and it was like a 10-year story. I can't quite remember, but or maybe she didn't tell it last, but she has told this story. And she was saying that once she visualized it and put it down and really thought about it, it took half the time that she had thought it would take. So.
And this is what happens when I do the seminars. I say to somebody, just start on it. Just what's one thing you have to do on it. Do your self-awareness. Use your creativity and put in positives. Think about actually putting down this goal. This is where I want to go. And all of a sudden you say, oh, I got to do this and this. And how are you going to do it? It works. But make it personal for you. You're very special people to be in this program. You're very special to have gotten through this far. It's a hard program. But it's so wonderful. And so different. And you'll have all these people in the field of creativity. You know, I meet some people sometimes, they say, oh, I'm a little different. I said, no, you're one of us. I know you. I recognize you. You're one of my kind of people. Come on in. I'll introduce some more creative people. Come to SIPSI. I've sent people to the program here, too, because there's something a little bit different. And something a little bit, and I love it. We're a little skewed, a little different, and I love it. So what makes you skewed different, and what's so great about you? And accept it and love it and go with it.
Wow. Yeah. So, yeah, some people stay in the program for a long time, and some people go right through it.
Yeah.
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 I was through it in 16 months.
But you never left.
But I never left, you know, I'm still around.
And you keep swimming back. Well, that's the thing, because it really is a community. We have a community of people that have gone through, whether it's a course, a program, the masters, it's that whole thing of finding the community of people who are open, who are inquisitive, who take an interest and have insights into the creative process. So, and I want to thank 4 people for coming to share that, because I really appreciate
Oh, you're very welcome.
you closing down our series on our forums, alumni forums today. So thank you, and,
Enjoyable.
all right.
Nice meeting these nice people.